What's up and welcome back to my channel, the best place on the internet to learn about motorcycle and mindset tips to get you comfortable and confident so that you can live your very best life. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to rely on our internal compass, that gut feeling that we get when we feel or we sense something is right or wrong, otherwise known as intuition. So have you ever just known something just felt off? Maybe it was a decision that you were making, but you went ahead and you did it anyway, only to regret making that choice later on. Or maybe you've sensed that somebody didn't have your best interests at heart, and later you found out that that feeling was spot on and accurate. Or even you took a chance on starting a new hobby and it totally changed your life for the better. So we all have a knowing inside of us, that voice that keeps calling out to us and refuses to stay quiet, no matter how much we try to push it down. This voice exists for a reason. It's there to call us to higher ground, to encourage us to step into our potential, to be all that we can be and all that we know that we are capable of. That voice is our internal compass, our intuition, and it will guide us to amazing achievements and incredible highs if we listen to it and pay attention to what it is telling us. So most of my life, I ignored this voice to follow the crowd, to fit into what everyone else was doing, what I knew was expected of me. It wasn't my fault, and it wasn't anyone's fault really. I was just following the program. But it takes time and attention to really fine-tune our intuition and to find our voice again. So for me, this started when I started riding motorcycles. I instantly knew that it would be huge for me. It would be life-changing. The moment that I sat on a motorcycle with my hands on the handlebars, I felt it in my gut that this was right. And over time, I learned to listen to that voice and to lean into it during difficult times when that voice was coming through really strongly and was signaling that I needed to pay attention. So here I am, I'm sharing my lessons that I've learned on my journey to help you go further and faster on yours. So here are my 4 ways to tap into your intuition and to learn to hear your internal compass. So the first one is make space. Just like any skill or hobby that you're learning, we rarely get good at anything without putting in the time. I recommend to my clients to carve out time in your day where you can have intentional time to just be, to just listen to that internal voice. So for me, I do this every morning for about 20 minutes shortly after waking. Some of my clients prefer late at night or just before bed or after the kids are asleep. It really doesn't matter when you do it, as long as it's convenient to your life and it works for you. We need to protect this time, so please don't allow any interruptions when you're taking a moment to just be. So my second one is clear your mind. The next thing we want to do is empty our mind of random chatter that permeates our thoughts constantly. Thinking about what to make for dinner or what you're going to text your friend back is only going to drown out that inner voice and those internal messages that need to come through. We must clear our mind if we hope to go inside and listen. Meditation works great for this, and there are a few different ways to do that. You could sit and stare at a candle flame for a couple of minutes, just close your mind and just look at the flames. Or you could close your eyes and repeat an affirmation or a mantra in your head. Or even just a word that you really love. Some good words for this are freedom or harmony. I want you to focus on how the words sound in your head. Focus on how the letters look in your mind's eye. Another way to clear your mind is nature walks. This works fantastic for me. If you do ride motorcycles, then you already know that riding motorcycles is a phenomenal way to clear your mind and have that peace and that silence and that clarity that you will find on two lanes on the open road. So some more advanced meditation practices involve just sitting still and simply clearing your mind of this constant stream of consciousness. This, however, is going to take some time and practice, but it does get easier the more that you do it. And eventually, once you do get quiet and focused, you can receive unannounced random thoughts and inspiration that just are going to pop up into your head. So this is totally normal. And when it happens, I want you to write it down. These messages are coming directly from your internal compass, your intuition, and they must be acted on. So keep a little notebook handy and make sure you're documenting everything that you think of in these moments. So number 3 is journaling. Nothing is quite as powerful as the pen when it comes to discovering our internal voice. Journaling plays a huge role in my life, and it's something that I do daily. You can use journal prompts if you're unsure of what to write to kind of get that inner voice flowing. And this is something that I did a lot of when I started my journey, was using journal prompts. So some questions along the lines of, if all of your needs were met, what would you be doing with your time? What does your dream life look like? If you had one day left to live, what would you regret not doing? Now, these journal prompts might seem heavy or morbid, but they really emphasize the importance of living our life to the absolute fullest. Journal prompts will ask you to consider things that you've never really thought about, and it'll get you to examine what you truly want out of life. Another way to journal is through scripting. Basically, you write down what your future life looks like as if you're 5 or 10 years in the future and you're already living that. For example, what does your perfect life look like in 5 years? If you took daily action to chase your dreams, where would you be? Who would you be? What would your life be like? How would you be showing up in your relationships? How would you feel? Write a page describing every detail that you can think of. Be creative and do not hold back. When we write things down on the page, they have an incredible way of coming true. So another journal practice is a stream of consciousness journaling. And this means that you write down everything that pops into your head. And yes, I mean everything, until you've written 3 full pages. So I want you to write it all down as quick as you think of it, and don't edit anything, and don't even worry about proper grammar or punctuation. This journal practice is great for several reasons. It helps us focus our thoughts, and it digs under the layers of that monkey brain chatter until we find those nuggets of information and insight directly from our internal compass. Okay, and the 4th tip is pay attention to your bodily reactions. So often our bodies know our internal compass a lot better than our brain does. So have you ever had a feeling of not wanting to do something, but you didn't really know why and you couldn't quite put your finger on it? And then you've gone ahead and done it anyway. And then later on you said something like, I knew I shouldn't have done that. What was I thinking? Well, that knowing is our internal compass. So it's pointing north, but we decide to go south instead. Our bodies respond in various ways to our intuition. And an easy way to think about this is to pay attention to how you feel when you're really drawn to something. Say, for example, what does an obvious yes mean to you as it feels in your body? How does your body react? Do you lean forward? Do you get butterflies or flushed cheeks? Do you get a light feeling in your heart? On the other hand, what does an obvious no feel like? Perhaps you lean back or you make faces. Do you get the shivers or the chills? Do you start sweating? These are all signs our internal compass is showing up and showing us the way. And once we start paying attention, these patterns start to emerge. For example, when I'm about to have a growth experience like launching a podcast with my best friends, or being a guest on someone else's podcast, or talking to a new client for the first time, I get really excited and really happy. Sometimes I get a little sweaty and a little shivery at the same time. And this is a sign that I'm stepping beyond my comfort zone. It means that I care a lot about what I'm about to do. And when my body feels this way, I know that I need to lean in. If I wasn't excited for it, then I would have a knot in my stomach with like a sinking feeling, and that would be a signal to me that this wouldn't be a direction that I should be pursuing. When we start paying attention to subtle signs of our intuition and our internal compass, we can use them as guideposts to make decisions. And when we make decisions by using our intrinsic internal knowing, we become less dependent on external influences. You will find yourself consulting friends and family for their opinions less and less, because essentially their approval and their opinions matter much less once you know with clarity where you're going and you can make these decisions confidently using your intuition. Now, at this point in the video, I've shared my top ways to tap into your intuition and listen to messages from our internal compass and that inner voice. I hope that you will implement at least one of them in your life so that you can start relying on your intuition and achieve all of your wildest dreams. Now, I want you to comment below to let me know which one resonates the most with you and which one you're going to start implementing in your life today. Listening to your intuition is only one strategy for riding motorcycles. So if you haven't already, I want you to sign up for my free guide on how to go from a non-rider to a badass biker babe. And the link is going to be in the description box below. So I post a lot of content about motorcycles and mindset to help women live their best lives. So while you wait for my video next week, make sure you watch these other 2 videos. I promise they will not disappoint. As always, I love you, I appreciate you. Have a beautiful day, a gorgeous week, and I'll see you in the next video.